Good evening guys, Ebenezer with you as always. Welcome back to another episode of Queensland Abandoned Mines. Really excited to share with you this episode. This is going to be the top side exploration, and next Friday night if you come back and join us you're going to see what lurks below in the old mine workings down below. So this is a really cool mine, some really interesting geology. This particular mine is a tin lode mine, and you can see we're a little bit confused. I didn't heavily research it until we got home, but the actual span of this mine dates all the way back to the 1880s and I think closed around about the 1960s. So really cool, lots to see. You're going to see us find a very rare inline compressor later in the episode, and the little adit that you see, which is pretty much completely gone, that is the main level, the number 2 hole level. That is actually the level that we get to in next week's episode. So thanks for tuning in guys. If you enjoyed tonight's episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That's a great way to stay up to date with the channel. We hope everyone's well and enjoy tonight's episode. Here we are guys, halfway through day 2. Look at that massive pile of quartz down there on the ground. And we have found an open stope. It's got a lot of burden sitting on the top, but part of it's still open. And Blake's about to rock test it. Alright buddy? Yeah.
Alright, ready? 3,
Yeah.
2, 1, bombs away.
I actually didn't hear it stop. And Blake's just checking out this big deposit of quartz. And check this out gang, this is really cool. These big divots in the ribs are from the old stoping platforms. So the miners would have stoped probably from the bottom way below, 100 metres below our feet. And this would have been the last platform they knocked in before the stope became an open stope. Good looking quartz here. I thought I'd give you guys a bit of a closer look at this shaft. We'll see if it's climbable. Wowee, that goes. That is a slippery climb too. It's full of moss. See a couple of the old timbers left in there. No water in it.
Yeah. Oh, it's a long way down though.
Hey?
It's a long way down.
I don't think you can rope in, dude. Look at all this lip here.
Huh?
All of that.
Right.
Hey?
Just knock it down.
Hmm.
Do the other one.
Yeah, I think the other one looks better.
I think this one looks easier to me. It's more incline probably.
The other one's straight vertical. More holes they blasted for the stoping platforms. See a bit of the quartz they left on the ribs there. They didn't quite clean out. Alright guys, we're going to follow the strike down just to get your orientation. Look at the veins slicing down through the hill. It's a little bit bushy that way. So Blake and I are going to follow the trail down. I think he's already spotted a minecart. Wow, that's weird looking. Side tipper. Again, that's all different kind of fabrication, because we're talking the mid 1900s. Is another one. I can already tell this is going to be a really cool site, and probably as far as scale of mines go, probably the highlight of the trip. And here's the foundations of the original mill. Oh, have you seen in here? Yeah, yeah. So we got the mill off to our left, guys, from the mid 1900s. Yeah, so back to the story. Apparently, this mine didn't have the best OH&S, allegedly. Look at that, that's cool. And the mine manager came into questions when they, oh wow, look at that. They had a stole, a big ground support that was placed in the wrong spot, and it was actually holding up, oh, look at that. It was actually holding open a stope. And a couple of guys were in there pry barring some rocks. And the stole was positioned that way because they wanted to, what's that? Oh, cap shaft?
Yeah, just a winder up there.
Blake's just saying that's the winder. Oh, wow.
A bit of water in there.
Oh, wow. Your torch gets all the way to the bottom. So we're thinking that's where the water table will be at the other one? No.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
Rock test?
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
Starving for rocks on a mine site.
Just a little one.
Alright. Ready?
Yep. 2, 3, 4 seconds down. Nice clean shaft, isn't it? Yeah.
Clean water looking too.
Yeah. Concrete collared. Interesting.
I reckon someone's broken through this more recently. That's been chipped off.
Yeah, it actually looks like the whole thing's going to cave in. I wouldn't stand on it.
Yeah. I think there's another little one over the base.
I'm hearing some big thunderstorms. I think we're actually standing on another cap shaft. Yeah, look at that. That could have been the old vent.
Are you going to old ball bent?
Oh, that's an older one. That's not welded. That's one of the original ones.
Yeah, so I think they used to have an aerial tramway going up here on top of these gigantic boulders. Built it right into the rock.
Nice. Alright, we'll keep exploring further down the strike.
Banded mudstone?
Yeah, big banded mudstone. Brecciated mudstone. Nice. Alright, keep exploring. Oh, a couple of drill holes. That could have been the drill doctor testing out his new bits. I don't know why they'd need to drill into this massive granite boulder. Alright, we'll keep exploring, guys. This is cool. So I know this mill was retired somewhere in the 60s. Look at the size of it. This is an enormous tin load. Wowee. That is seriously cool. That's the biggest foundation I've ever seen. Alright, so we're just down here at the bottom of the plant. And we've got a lot of twisted metal. It's going to be hard to work out what all this stuff is. That old girl looks like, Blake was saying there's a tramway. That doesn't look like a ore cart that would have axles and wheels. That might indeed be part of the hauling system for the tramway.
It's into a belt drive.
Yeah. Oh, there's two of them. Look at that. Watch out for snakes, mate. That's cool.
Yeah, the base, the heavy duty thing.
Yeah, it's certainly a big scale. You see Blake just off there having a look at the mullock. The strike is still sliding down the hill, pretty much right under that mullock. And we've now gotten to the bottom of the plant. We're going to go down the bottom of the hill and see if there's anything left of the adit. There we go, guys. That'll give you an idea of the scale. That waste rock pole is probably 25 metres high. And we know that this mine is a big tin lode. It was mined over 4 levels. 4 shafts. We've already found, actually I think we found all 4 of them. The ones that are concreted are the 2 main shafts. And only one at it. I guess that's because they needed to bring the ore up and use gravity to get it back down to the mill. So there would be no real point in hauling anything out this way. Then they need to use more power to get it back up. So that is the only lasting at it. It's slightly off strike, which means it must wobble in a little bit and then head up. We have stuck our heads down in there. There's a huge rock blocking it now anyway. But Blake's already been in there about 5 years ago. And he only travelled to the first shaft. And then it's all filled in full of tailings. So, could squeeze in there, but there's absolutely no need. So we're going to go check out the old dam. Then we might, depending on how we feel, we have definitely exerted a lot of energy last couple of days. But I think we're going to rope up off that tree and bomb into that northern shaft. Give you guys a look at what's down there. Should be fun. The old dam, guys. So that processing plant would have used a lot of water. And driving in the fire trail, we could actually see like a little water diversion tunnel gouged through the mountains. We tracked it back about 5 k's along the fire trail that we came in on. So yeah, it's one of the bigger mill sites we've ever seen, so it would have needed a lot of water. And she's a bit wonky, but the dam is still standing 70 odd years later. What do you reckon? Keen for a climb?
I said you done first.
No, I did the swim yesterday. You're going down first. that was what I thought of yesterday when I did the breaststroke.
You didn't say that.
Yeah, just it should be assumed. And I paid more.
Taking some liberties there.
Yeah, I know. This is cool. So although we know a little bit about this site, we've got a mine map that I might show you. I'll bleep out the name. Look at some of this. This is the old foundations they've actually built into the outcropping here, right above the dam. This looks like it would have housed a boiler. We're starting to talk much older than the 1950s here. This would normally date it back into the late 1800s. And as we've seen, especially on day one, they picked a spectacular site to start mining for tin. Beautiful location. So we're going to head up, we're going to have a look at the winding gear at the top of the big granite boulders. That will give us a view down over those capped concrete shafts. And we're going to go carefully assess the big holes in the ground, do a bit of a safety assessment, see what we think. May have found a way into the mine. You've got to have a really good gut feeling about it. I'll give this one a bit of a blast with a big torch. I'm pretty sure. Hey John, yeah. I reckon this leads to the shaft that you're looking at. Did you hear it? Oh, I'll try and get it down there. Oi! Nice! That is our way down, boys. Yeah, no, but what I can see down here, I can see something dipping up under your feet. You know what I mean? Yeah, all right, come. All right, so You guys can see the car. You guys can see the car right down there. Again, just making sure we keep you orientated. The strike, it's right where my fingers are. Hole's just down there below the ferns. And Blake's going to yeet a rock down the big shaft.
3, 2, 1. Oh shit.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah, boys! Holy shit! Holy shit! You guys will get to see what's down there in just a moment. More mullet.
I've been around the whole thing. Nothing more. Thank you for such light. We end up at the mine manager's house. Great property. Is this one that goes down all the way? No. There's another one that goes.
No, that goes down all the way.
Yeah, so this one I trucked off in earlier. This one used to be open.
It still is.
The one behind you.
Oh, that one used to be open.
Yeah.
I might just thinking, might show you guys. We never endorse exploring around abandoned mines. Oh, go buddy. I'll show you guys where you'd never want to step on that or anywhere around it. We're at Margaret River Gorge, and we saw a day earlier, we saw all this gossamerous red rock, and the little divot in the ground was about that big. And then a week later, Blake and I got underneath it, and the only thing that was holding up was a massive slab of quartz and an old gum tree. I'll quickly just edit something together and just show you guys why that could be dangerous. Now, Blake was only here 5 years ago, and you said that was open, mate?
Yep.
So, who knows how that's capped. But, yeah, don't fall in, mate. Alright, just pause the video for a bit of a PSA. We never encourage exploring abandoned mines, but we can obviously see the history is very alluring, especially to people like us. But one thing one of the old-timers in my town actually told me in regards to the old coal mine and capped coal mine shafts is never walk on a depression in the ground. A lot of the old mines were only capped with the old railroad sleepers or old timbers. They can rot very easily. And I think very obviously for everyone, there can just be a burden, just organic material that could be covering these. And the only thing that you see is a little depression in the ground, such as the one at the tin mine that we're at. So the best way I thought I'd explain that, you can see a little bit of footage here of my son and I at Kanya Dam. This is winter of 2020. And what you don't see is I paused the camera after Zach walked through that depression in the ground and turned into a bit of a cranky dad, because underneath these little depressions in the ground can be enormous chasms. So fast forward to winter of 22, and you can see Blake and I staring up under an enormous shaft. I estimate that to probably be about 40 metres high. Now, the only thing that's holding that shaft in place is what looks like a rotten gum tree and a massive razor-sharp slab of quartz. So obviously very dangerous for anyone that walks underneath it, but extremely dangerous for anyone that walks on top of it, because you just don't know how these things are capped. So if you're aware that you're around old mine workings, really you should be clipped into a harness, even if you're around the collar of these little depressions in the ground, because they can give way at any moment. Doesn't necessarily have to be after heavy rain. So just a message from us, steer clear, and you will remain safe if you're bushwalking on top of these. And say it again, and then reference the Boyne River water without saying Boyne River water. Go.
How am I meant to reference nothing Boyne River water?
Hey?
How am I meant to reference Boyne River?
You just make something up. Come on, man.
The thirsty Ebenezer?
Yes.
Tricky mate.
Oh.
Here.
Mental blank. Right, we've just walked a different way back to the car. I got a really old pit, and we got an old Ingersoll Rand engine. We haven't seen one of those in Australia before. We've seen pretty much every other manufacturer other than that. I think it's mostly our American mine exploring buddies that mostly uncover this one. An old water tank just sitting over there as well. This is really cool because we'll be able to date this. Pretty cool.
Look at the size of the piston at the end of it. Huge.
Awesome. All right. Can you see if I'm flashing red?
Yep. Whoa, they're sliding.
Alrighty guys, that's a wrap from the second last adventure in the what we're calling the Granite Belt series of adventuring from QAM. Join us next Friday night. I guarantee you won't want to miss it, where we rope into one of the biggest shafts at this site to see what the old timers were up to. So really cool topside exploration today. We really do thank Blake and John, two of our crew members, for leading us out there. It was our first time out there, but they've been adventuring out there a few times before. Really special site. Still a lot to see there if you're interested in this history. But what you're going to see next week, nobody has seen in around about 80 years. So you won't want to miss it. We hope everyone's well. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you guys next Friday night.